Every time I come around the corner, bling bling. Now, hopefully, we wasn't on audio right there. Yeah, 10 breaking 1-9. All right. Always remember, it's all about the sacrifice. Don't you forget. Don't you ever forget. But anyways, hit that like button right now. Hit it. Touch it. Touch the like button right now. All right, thank you. All right, now, let me show you something. What we have here. Check it out. That's a Stinger audio. This is the MT2 quadruple. No. 2000.1 or 0.1. 1 ohm, 1 channel. This is a 1 channel amp. 2 ohm, 1 channel amp. 4 ohm, 1 channel amp. You can get 2000, 1500, or 800 watts, depending what final impedance that you have driven to your amplifier, which would be this one. And then make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button. We want to rack up the likes, and I will open up and do an unboxing of this amplifier. It is in here. It has been sealed up and everything. Yeah, that's what it is. This is it. Now, this is the top. Would say top boy or top girl, depends on how you look at it. It could be a he or a she. But yeah, this is the top one, the 2000.1. That 0.1 means it's 1 ohm stable. That 2000 means it's capable of 2000 watts. But many times on amplifiers, it'll say max power, and then it'll show the watts. And that amplifier is not even capable of doing the max power wattage. You're not getting anything like that. But when it comes to amplifiers, you can view them on YouTube. Big D, old Derek, look up Amp Dyno, and you'll be able to see his videos. And he has put this amp on the dyno, and this amp performed well at over 14 volts, which is cool. It did do over 2000 watts at 1 ohm. It did do over 1500, I believe, at 2 ohms. It met its ratings, which is great when you have something that meets its ratings. And it's great when you have something that can do over 2000 watts at 1 ohm or 1500 watts at 2 ohms, because you don't have to use all the watts and crank it. You know what I'm saying? But you do have stored power. It gives you more of continuous power, like punching a bag. Each time you punch the bag, you won't be able to punch the bag at your hardest. But if you're going to be punching the bag for 5 minutes straight, there will be some continuous power there that you will have. Power has a lot to do with energy, wiring, and connections. You see, power goes down as it's put through wires that are pretty much ran a long ways from point A to point B. That's just the way it goes. Power goes down when there's shared power. Shared power with the alternator, shared power with the battery, just shared power with the whole electrical system. So that's why it's important that you always make sure you get an amp that has a ton of watts and that you have seen tested on the dyno. Because what you're going to have is that last thing called efficiency. See, efficiency is the key number. 73% efficient is 73%. which is 730 watts out of 1,000 watts will mean 73 efficient. And it's still give or take depending on what you're listening to, what type of level you got it at, and different things like that. Because heat, watts is heat. So when it says watts, that means heat. Every watt is more heat. So you got to know how to run your electrical system. So that's why it's important that you get an amp with a ton of watts. Therefore, you can boom around without having to crank it. You could put it at great, comfortable levels and still have good power without having to turn your head unit up to a higher volume, without having to turn the dB, which is dirty bass. What I call it dB, dirty bass, because you turn that dB up on the amplifier, you get bass, but things get dirty. You ever notice when you turn your head unit up and you turn the bass all the way up, more than likely it's going to distort quicker. But if you take all the bass up and you turn it up, it's a lot more clear. See, bass is different from just volumes of sound. It's two different things being mixed in there. So, to make a long story short and keep it clear for all of y'all that don't really follow the electronics, car audio, SUV audio, semi-audio, and stuff like that, you basically want to get a very good amp so you can have power. Buy kind of quality or whatnot, and you'll be good to go. But always remember, when your system is in the trunk and it's the summertime, things may heat up more quickly. You got to know how to run your stuff. Some people run a fan on their amp. Some people make a hole, cut a hole to where they could run a fan and send it through. Some amplifiers have fans, but like something like this is a good thing too, or tornado fan. It'll produce air, you know what I'm saying? And try to keep things cool, because what you're having going on is the amplifier, it's not really supposed to get hot if you're running at the right voltage. It's not really supposed to get hot. The gain level knob is not a volume knob. It's the voltage that you're running at. The amp is already configured to what type of load you're going to be at. It's going to equal out to what type of power you got. Now, the voltage is done through Ohm's law. It's done through a multimeter. It's done through a 40 hertz test tone, 45 hertz test tone, and whatnot for clarity. But most of the time, you do want to put it on a song that has bass, that sounds good, that you really like, and you could dial that knob in to where you just overboard, and then turn it back a little bit, and then turn it back just a tiny bit. That's one way to get your gain level right, because you don't want to shoot too many volts out of your amplifier with the gain level at the wrong spot, because what's going to happen is your amp is going to heat up quite rapidly, because you're breaking Ohm's law tremendously, which causes clipping, which causes heat to your voice coils, which causes your subwoofers to just heat up and fry one day. And not only that, your terminals on your amp could get hot with your ground and your positive. It's just too much heat. You want to learn about Ohm's law when it comes to this stuff, so you could get your stuff right, or you could take it to a car audio place, have them hook it up and set it up, and boom. And if you're just curious about what they really did and where is it really at, then you take it to another cardio place, or a professional that knows about this stuff, that can double check your stuff. But anyways, make sure you like this video so I can open up this stinger and reveal it to you. Yes indeed, because once I open her up, I'm gonna hook it up. Yep, gonna hook it up. This is my brand new amp. Oh yeah, before I go, I usually make about a 10-minute video. I'll probably make this 11 minutes. I did buy an amp back in 2018, I bought the Zeus Hyphonics. Should have been the 1816.1. It did well. It performed well. But 2018 was 5 years ago. I didn't know as much as I know about ohm loading and running things at certain levels. And it just so happened that I was actually below 1 ohm. And when it's 1 ohm, that means it's stable at as low as 1 ohm. Anything below 1 ohm, 0.86, 0.667, 0.5, the amp is not stable. And what they mean when they say not stable, that means you can burn up everything because there's no stability when you drop the impedance lower than 1 ohm. It's crucial that you understand that you keep your amp stable, because this is just pretty much a source of heat, because it has watts in there that goes through your speaker wire to your speakers. And the juice comes from your battery. It's pulled from the battery, runs to the amp. So since you have a positive, you have to have balance in life. You have to have a ground, a negative. That's just the way it works. You got to have your stuff grounded good, and you got to have your stuff being able to receive enough power through the hot power wire. Usually people go with a 0 gauge, 1 gauge, or 2 gauge to get that power in there. But anyways, that's pretty much a little video about, audio. Stinger audio. Check it out. Stinger audio. Yes. And I need a daggone something in the descriptions to get paid for affiliate marketing, but I really don't care about all that most of the time, because when life is good, life is just good. But you can get this amp. It's $199.99 plus tax, which, like I was gonna say, there's no need to get the 1500 or the 1000.1, because that's just not enough. That's not enough. You want to go ahead and get more than what you really need, because if it was about saving money, then don't buy it at all. Don't spend the money at all. But if you were like, oh, dude, I'm going to spend 100, 130 after taxes or whatever, 106, 170, like, you might as well just spend 200 plus tax and get the big guy. You know what I'm saying? You might as well get the big girl. You might as well. You're spending money and you want something top notch. Reach for something that's on the top shelf. Enjoy your life and get a good product. Because you're not saving money if you get the 1000. You're not saving any money. You still spent money. You spent less and you got less. Why not spend more and get more? What in the world? You only live once. Enjoy your life and get great products. Don't try to stretch your money out. You're going to spend it anyway. Because at the end of the day, I have the feeling like, hey, I got this thing. I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got it. Should I open it up for you? Make sure you like this video. I want to see some likes. I want to see some comments in the comment section. I want to see some questions like, yo, Mage, what you running, man? What you running, man? What you running? And I'll let you know, man. I'll let you know. I'll let you see it all. And shout out to the ladies out there who do car audio, SUV audio, vehicle audio. Shout out to y'all, too, that come through the corner beating, because it's very sexy. Keep doing your thing, girl. And turn that bass up and hit that like button.